Hello, welcome back to History of Games. Spooky Edition! Reloaded. And before we get started, I just wanted to apologize because the previous Spooky Edition, Dead Space, there was not enough scares. So, don't worry, this game, still plenty of jump scares. But don't worry, I won't just throw them in wherever I want. In the middle of a sentence, they'll make sense. Or will they? Also, sorry, I couldn't resist. The game we're going to be talking about today is the horror game Outlast. Outlast was released on PC in 2013, and then a year later came out for PS4. Yes. And it also just recently came out for Nintendo Switch, so you can poop your pants on the go. Yeah. So you're trapped in an insane asylum, so great. And then, as a bonus, most of the power's out. Also great. And the inmates are just running around murdering stuff. Great, great, great. Because the power's out, you have to navigate using your trusty camcorder in night vision mode. So that drains your batteries. So you have to find new batteries. Luckily, for some reason, there's batteries everywhere in this goddamn asylum. Nobody knows why, but I guess people like to record stuff. It's the only reason I could justify it. Because they're everywhere. There's so many camera batteries, and they just happen to be for the same camera. Oh my god. There's only one camera in this world. In this game, you play as an investigative journalist, Miles Upshur. You're just a regular person. There's no guns, there's no superpowers, there's no nothing. So when an enemy sees you, you have to fucking hide, or they just fucking murder you. You get to just hide under beds, or in a closet, or duck behind and hang out in this little dark corner that's just like, hey, there's shadows here. They can't see me. So you hide there. And then they walk away. Very tense game because you can't do anything. Except for hide and run. And that's it. And die. But that's not really a move. You get an anonymous email. It could be anything. It could be spam. You don't know. But you get an email from Anonymous that inhumane experiments are being conducted at Mount Massive Insane Asylum. That's right, Mount Massive. The worst name for an asylum. I mean, I don't know if there's any good names. A privately owned asylum with a terrible name. So, you drive there at the cover of night. You have to climb up a ladder, walk through some things, go through a window. You go in with a journal and a camcorder. Yes. That's how investigative journalists do it. A lot of things where you're like, hey, I should get the fuck out of here. That story can suck a dick. I'm out. So, you enter this asylum. Everything is totally fucked up. There's papers everywhere. Hallways are dark and ominous. Desks are filled with camcorder batteries. So you can also read the files and get more like the background of what happened. For all those completionist people, you go down the first hallway. Everything's super fucked up. And then door on the left. And you're like, okay, cool. And then, so you turn to the right. Vent and blood. Great. So you're like, cool, what am I gonna do? Climb on the fucking vent. You go on the fucking vent. God damn it, Miles. You climb on the vent, and then you hear something.
Not you! Not again!
Then you get out of the vent, you find a library. And then Oh, jump scares. He's so silly. Break out your camera with your trusty night vision, because this room is pitch black. Starring Vin Diesel, Claudia Black. You find some dude that's totally doing fine. He's okay. He is a human shish kebab. He's like... Don't get the chicken. So he tells you to get the fuck out of there. And of course, you don't. You clearly listen to Mr. Shish Kebab. Just push on forward. Great. Killing it, Miles. So you exit. You go around the corner. You squeeze through 2 cabinets.
Little pig.
So you're unconscious. In a daze. You open your eyes. You see some creepy ass priest. He's like, hey, you're my apostle. You're my apostle. Shh.
Merciful God, you have sent me an apostle.
You're my apostle. Father Martin is like, how you doing? I'm a creep. And you're just kind of like, ugh. He, after saying like, oh, you're an apostle this, he goes and cuts the power, and you're like, oh, fuck, thanks, Dad, Jesus. So you finally wake up, do objective, get the fuck out, which was kind of what you should have been doing. You need the security key card to get into the security room to turn the power back on. Makes sense. You see a guy in a wheelchair, and he's just sitting there like that. And you're like, okay, guy in a wheelchair. And the next room, bunch of creepy people just staring at a TV. And the TV's like the static, the snow channel. And they're just staring at it. So you can, this is pretty much the intro to, hey look, there's people everywhere. There's no security. Everyone's dead. It's just the fucking inmates running around. But right now they're kind of in a daze, staring at the TV. You can like walk up in front of them and jump and shit. I only know because I've done it. You sneak through. By sneak, you could just jump and run across the room. You find the security guard, dead, obviously. Take his card. Go back through the rooms. They're still staring at the TV. And as you inch up to wheelchair guy, you go back. You put the card in, you put the power back on so you can exit, and then and the guy looks up at the camera as he kills one of the generators. Great. Don't worry. Basement, it's like super well lit. There's a guided tour. You pay $2, get the little headphones, listen to it, and you're like, oh, this is really interesting. No, it's pitch black. Pitch black, and there are guys running around that will beat yo ass. You have to go downstairs in the dark basement and go turn the generator back on. Great! Good thing I have all these batteries. You get to the generator, you turn it on, yeah. Then Mr. Creepy Father Martin shows up again.
I'm sorry, my son. I didn't want to have to do this to you.
And then...
Will you see it? Can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel.
This is your introduction to Mr. Wall Rider. Cool. This just keeps getting better and better. You wake up again because you get knocked out every 3.5 fucking seconds. You're in a cell. In a cell, surrounded by people living their best life. You go through the sewers.
Only way out is down the drain,
And then get back into the asylum. Trying to avoid Mr. Hey, I'm going to throw you through a window up back onto the first floor. Then you get captured again. You are just like, hi, my name is Miles, and I like getting captured.
You're not one of them, are you? Quick, get in the dumb waiter if you want to live.
You got a choice here, buddy.
So, you get captured by a new guy, Rick Traeger. He is such a nice guy. Look at him.
Here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times.
You also see his ass. Great. He's like, hey, I'm gonna take care of those issues for you. And then he...
Make you believe. You paying attention? Don't pass out on me. There's still a lot for you to absorb. There. Better now, right?
And he's about to cut your tongue, and you're, your downstairs situation. But then you manage to escape. Thank God. So now you have to run and hide under beds, in closets, in other rooms, or Mr. Mick, I'm gonna cut off the rest of your fucking everything, will murder you. Cool. After navigating a few more hallways, while you're in hot pursuit by Mr. Rick. Playing your intense hide and seek when the grand prize is you get found, you get murdered. Camera, $400. Pants, $40. Replacement batteries for your goddamn camera so you can see it in this goddamn darkened, blacked out asylum, $20. Priceless. So you run into Father Martin again. This guy's everywhere. So he says, go to the chapel. And you're like, cool, I don't listen to things myself. So let's go. Get to the auditorium. And you learn that the wall rider was made by a German scientist. Yes, Dr. Rudolph. And then the German name that I'm going to go ahead not butcher, so I'll just text. Dr. Rudolph Mick text. So Dr. Rudolph believed that dream therapy on traumatized patients could collect nanites into one collective being. Because science, I guess? So you get to the chapel. You find Father Martin's crucified in the chapel.
You alone shall escape it.
And then so you get to the elevator, and it takes you to an underground lab. Great. Where the hell else would it take you? Willy Wonka's? No. You're not getting chocolates, and you're not going to see that one girl turn into a fucking blueberry. Not that. So, just a secret lab that's making monsters, and fucking murdering people. And doing experiments on people with trauma. Cool. You find Mr. Throw You Through the Windows.
No more escape.
So you find Mr. Rudolph, well, Mr. Dr. Rudolph. He tells you that the Wall Rider is a biotechnological entity controlled by a comatose patient named Billy Hope. What? No, but seriously, actually.
Turn exocells in the human body into nanofactories.
What? So Rudolph is like, hey, go kill Billy, because that should stop the Wall Rider. And you're like, I don't have a mind of my own, so let's do this. You find Billy Hope in a coma. You pull the plug. Just before he dies. Wall Rider possesses you. Go to leave. Security team shows up. And it's like, hey, what are you doing here? And you're like, I'm possessed by Billy.
Gott in Himmel. You have become the host.
Jesus, God, what is that thing?
Development. Outlast was developed by Red Barrels. It was developed for 1 full year with a total of 10 employees, which is pretty crazy. And they had contractors for music and scripts. So they actually had a lot of issues getting investors. There was about an 18-month period where they did not have any money coming in. That's a long time without getting fucking money. Then, finally, after so many no's, after so many passes, they got an investor from Canada. The full production budget was 1.36 million Canadian. And by the actual time the PC version shipped in 2013, they had no money. Like, the company was broke. So if this game was a flop, they would have been toast. With the PC sales, they used that money to start working on some DLC, Whistleblower, and begin working on the console versions of the game. In 2014, the game came exclusively to PlayStation 4 as a PlayStation Plus. The game launched on PS4 for free. If you have a game released on PS Plus for free, you take a flat fee instead of per unit sold. So they made the decision to do that because they needed the money. And they knew it would get a wider audience, so the DLC would sell more. They couldn't market at all. And they also wanted to start a franchise. They really had to get some money in their goddamn bank. But little did they know that after the release of Outlast 2 in 2017, they would have earned over $64 million from the 2 games and the DLC, which is crazy, because the company could have flopped if Outlast didn't sell. But now, they're a successful indie company. Who knew? Reviews for the game are average like 7 to 8, which is pretty solid for a new IP and kind of pioneer like indie horror games for a little while. First person, scary, you have to fucking run. It also reached a huge audience from between the PlayStation Plus and YouTubers doing playthroughs of the game. And I thought it was nice playing a horror game where by the end of the game, you're typically overpowered. Everything's easy because you get all the big guns and crazy blah blah power-ups. Who cares? This one, you're just a stupid person the whole time. The ending was a little like, what the fuck is going on? But it was still fun. And the difficulties were cool, because it went from batteries are everywhere to there's literally only 2 batteries in this hospital. So, a little more realistic. They also kill you faster. And the batteries run out really fast. That's Outlast. I really did enjoy the game. I thought it was a lot of fun. A nice little twist on the horror genre. And I just hope there's more to come. So, just want to say thanks for watching. Follow my shit. Subscribe, I guess, if that's a thing you're into. And, most importantly, October 30th, the day before Halloween, I'll be releasing the scariest, spookiest, creepiest history of games that we've seen yet. You are warned. So brace your buttholes.